We are sorry to announce that the 10:48 Avanti West Coast service to London Euston has been cancelled. Avanti West Coast apologises for the disruption to your journey today. For customers travelling to...
The likelihood is that you've never heard of him either. People much younger than myself will find it hard to imagine the level of racial prejudice which existed in Britain back in the 1950s and 60s, and many of the trade unions were hotbeds of such attitudes. Asquith Xavier was refused a job as guard at Euston Station in 1966, fought against the ruling, and eventually brought about changes to the laws on discrimination. Heading for Dewsbury. The charter, rather unusually, is booked into Platform 4, and one has to wonder where that approaching Pendolino is going to go. Well, what did you expect? Thank you, Carlisle signalman. another one coming in up here. This is the regular train of empties from British Gypsum, Newbiggin, heading eventually for Teesside, but currently on its way to Carlisle Yard to reverse, before setting out via the Tyne Valley and East Coast Main Line. A civil engineer's train for Baseford Hall Yard at Crewe. Somebody's definitely playing games in the signal box. To Upperby Yard for servicing, watering and reversing. After a break, I decide to catch the empty charter stock on its return to the Citadel. Traxi shows it on the move, so let's see if I can find it. There in the distance, by Petrel Bridge Junction, I spot a plume of steam. Ahead of us is London Road Junction, with the curve coming in from the right, which the empty charter will have used to get from Upperby Yard onto the Tyne Valley line, hauled out by Tangmere before the diesel takes it back into the station to pick up its passengers. Real-time trains appeared to show it as heading for Track A, but with the measurement train already occupying it, I don't think so. With a long wait ahead of me, I bring the drone back to replace the battery, and just as it's landing, a long wait now. Departure for Chester via the West Coast Main Line is scheduled for 15:02, so I'll keep the drone on the ground until 5 minutes before then. What can possibly go wrong? A southbound Pendolino. That's going to hold up the charter. This one left Glasgow 15 minutes late and is 12 minutes down here. Obviously, a steam charter train can't be allowed to run in front of a 125 miles per hour service. Just a minute or so to clear the section, and Tangmere can get underway. But it doesn't happen. The drone is in the air, and I'm anxiously watching its battery status as the minutes pass by. As a service from Newcastle draws into the Citadel, I fail to notice another Pendolino sitting in platform 4. The green Pendolino left Glasgow 16 minutes late and is still 12 minutes behind schedule here at Carlisle. Surely now we can get underway. What else can go wrong? Well, unbeknown to me, at this point my camera, sitting on the tripod quietly recording the soundtrack, switched itself off. I have no idea why. Plenty of battery and memory card left. Tangmere was about to perform a visually stunning departure with a soundtrack to match. You'll have to settle for the visuals, I'm afraid. And by now the battery level was too low for me to follow the train. So much for the best laid plans of mice and men. She's obviously working hard at getting the train underway, and there's nothing hereabouts to present a fire risk. But once she gets out into the open country, it'll be a different story, and I suspect that 47826 will be providing the great attractive effort. We can't easily forget the events of the 5th of April, when Tangmere left a blazing trail along the Cumbrian coast. If she'd got away on time, I'd have followed her out as far as Upperby Bridge. But the battery's too low now, so I'm having to keep the drone within a few feet of myself. Horizontally, that is. I won't pretend that Tangmere's my favourite locomotive. You all know she's not. But she kept us going for a long period when little else was available, and she's had a rough time of it lately. Let's wish her and her crews a trouble-free future. As she heads off towards Chester, thanks for watching, and here's to the next time.